Hey everyone, let's talk about the astrology for today and tomorrow. All right, how is everyone doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Let's talk about the astrology for today and tomorrow. Okay, we're going to look at the natal charts for today and tomorrow, okay, and talk a little bit about astrology. We're also going to talk about the North Node currently being retrograde in Cancer. We are currently live on YouTube or on Google Chat, okay. Unfortunately, I can't see your comments here on Google Chat, but I have my phone pulled up so I can see your comments. Hey, Kaylee. Hey, Shalita. Hey, Bree. Hey, everyone. So I hope you guys are doing well. Let's talk about the astrology for today and tomorrow, okay? And let's talk a little bit about Cancer currently retrograde in the zodiac sign, or North Node currently retrograde in the zodiac sign Cancer in the 12th house. All right, so we're going to look at that. But I want to pull a card for everyone, so I want everyone to get in the room before we get started. I'm actually going to have to figure out a way to go live on my phone. Or not go live on my phone, but there we go. Okay. Now I can type. How's everyone doing? I'm going to type in the chat now. I have to type from my phone because I'm on Google Hangouts right now, so I can do a screen share with you guys because I want you guys to see the transits that are currently going on for today and tomorrow. So, but before we do that, I want to, let everyone get in the room. We're going to do our regular thing. We're going to pull a card, okay, for the beginning. But I just want everyone to get in the room. How's everyone doing? Let's get some music going. A little bit of music to set the tone, some uplifting jams. How is everyone's Monday? Today is Monday, the day of Cancer. Okay, so like I was saying, we currently have North Node in Cancer. All right. So, was everyone enjoying their Monday today? I think I know what song I want to put on. Oh my God, I cannot stand commercials. All right. How's everyone doing? I'm about to type in the chat for you guys. I just have to get the link for the super chat. There we go. Shalita, the morning was rough. I was real bipolar with the moon in Capricorn. Well, Shalita, the moon is actually currently in Capricorn. We're about to look at the astrology for today and tomorrow. Okay? So that makes sense. Tomorrow the moon does go, oh, you're rolling up? Yeah, Shalita. Come through. That's what I'm talking about, Shalita. Hi, Gumbo Yaya. Hi, Bree. Hi, Nico. Hi, Christine. So I'm on Google Hangouts right now because we're about to do a screen share, okay? Make sure you guys like the video as you guys come in. I am doing live readings, so if you want to donate to my Super Chat or my PayPal, I prefer if you donate to the PayPal. Anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is two questions, so on and so forth. The link to the PayPal is in the description box and the chat box. Hey, Jennifer. Today was an okay day, no school. Oh, really, Kaylee? Why? I hate when the moon is in Capricorn. It's so hard for me. Yeah, all I wanted to do was sleep today. That's all I wanted to do. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's pull a card for everyone in the room. I hope you guys are doing well. Remember, I am doing live readings. Okay, I just posted the link in the super chat. I'm chatting with you guys on my phone today because we're live streaming from Google Hangouts today. So what messages do the... Oh, it's Veterans Day. I forgot about that. Thank you, Ade. What messages do the angels, the ancestors, the protectors have for us, all of us in this live stream? Thank you for surrounding all of us in this live stream with your watery wall of protection, your fiery wall of protection, and your warrior shield of protection. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Thank you for protecting the connection of this live stream. Thank you for allowing this live stream to be fun, uplifting, educational, and entertaining for all who are joining. Amen. What messages do the angels... Make sure you guys like as you guys come in, okay? What messages do the angels have for all of us here in this room tonight? What messages do the angels and the spirit guides, the ancestors have for us in this room? We got one card. And the card says, yes, Ashe. It says, my attention to the unwanted can't defy the law of attraction. My attention to the unwanted can't defy the law of attraction. And it reads, if your life has caused you to ask for an improved situation, no matter what it is, and you are no longer offering chronic thought vibrations that are opposite of your desire must come to you. But you cannot continue to keep alive within you vibrational patterns of what you do not want and receive what you do want. That defies the law of attraction. All right? That's why our thoughts and our feelings are so important. When we feel good, when we feel positive, when we feel like we can achieve what we want, and we put our mind to it, we can do anything truly. All right? So for those of you who missed the card, all right, at the beginning of the reading, it's okay. You can watch the playback. Let's get into the astrology of the next 2 days, you guys. Okay, so we have a lot going on. We actually have a lot of planets in Capricorn. I am chatting with you guys on my phone here, okay, because I'm currently live streaming from Google Chat. So keep in mind I am doing live readings. I'll just see your chat here. So let's go ahead and share the screen. So you're going to see like a weird situation for like a second, but I promise it'll get fixed. Okay, so bear with me. So this is the current transits that we have going on for today, you guys, okay? We currently have the sun, obviously in Scorpio, all right, in the 4th house, ironically. The 4th house is the house of our friends, our family, okay? It's also the house of the mother, all right? So that we also could be going through some sort of transformational relationship with our mother at this time, or with our mothers at this time, or with our family specifically. Now, we also have Jupiter in Sagittarius as well. Yes, we have Jupiter going direct, or Jupiter direct in Sagittarius right now, also in the 4th house. So once again, the 4th house is ruled by Cancer, all right, specifically ruled by the moon, right? So the moon rules the relationship to our mother, our family, the connection to our roots, all right? It also rules, our emotions, all right, and how we tend to emotionally react to things, our emotional instincts, okay? So we may, be working through some boxed in emotions. Like, some of us want to break out of, certain ruts that we're in, especially when it comes to family and feeling boxed in and not feeling misunderstood with this Jupiter energy in the 4th house. Now, the moon, as I was saying, Shalita, is currently in Capricorn, okay? So with the moon in Capricorn, emotions can be tense right now. The Capricorn does not enjoy being in the moon, all right? The moon is Capricorn's polar opposite zodiac sign. The Capricorn, Saturn is the moon's polar opposite energy, right? So, but the good thing, well, partially good thing, is that tomorrow the moon does move into Aquarius, okay? Not that, makes it any better, but at least we'll ease up on this earth energy with the emotions today. I don't know if you guys well, let's look into tomorrow, because this was today. Let's type in the 13th. All right, so this is the 13th. Things are still the same. We still have the sun in tomorrow. We still have the sun in Scorpio, and Jupiter in Sagittarius, all in the 4th house, okay? Now, as I was saying, we do still have the moon. We'll have the moon in Aquarius tomorrow, which is November 13th. So, you know, by tomorrow, this Earth, you know, Capricorn energy with our emotions should ease up for sure. All right. But we have to keep in mind that we have the moon in Aquarius tomorrow in the 6th house. So the 6th house rules, you know, our work, our health. All right. So we may be, you know, having you know, a bit of somewhat of an intense focus on our health. We may feel like we want to, you know, all of a sudden change, you know, our health. You know, all of a sudden we want to drink more water or eat healthier, or, you know, we, you know, find some new health recipe or, you know, recipe to cook, something like that, you know, with the moon here in Aquarius in the 6th house. Now, the 6th house also rules, you know, routine, self-improvement. So a lot of us, you know, tomorrow may get a sudden burst of energy to, like, you know, maybe redecorate or reorganize the home, something like that with the moon in Aquarius. Anything, you know, to change our routine, you know, because Aquarius is ruled by both Uranus and Saturn, okay? And although Saturn rules routine, Uranus rules, like, you know, change and obstructing that routine and throwing a wrench in your plans, basically, you know. So be prepared for that. You know, there may be a lot of situations where, you know, or not a lot of situations, but some situations that, you know, kind of, you know, throw you off balance emotionally with the moon here in Aquarius in the 6th house. All right. We also have Pluto in Capricorn in the 6th house. All right. Now, Pluto is going to be in Capricorn for a while. So, you know, this isn't going anywhere, but, you know, tomorrow and probably on the 14th, all right, which, you know, where I am would be Wednesday. All right. Tomorrow is Tuesday, which is technically today for the purposes of this video. But, you know, Pluto in Capricorn, we're seeing transformations in our career. How will Mars moving into Pisces affect us? Okay, we're going to get there. Mars and Pisces. Mars and Pisces. Where's Pisces? Pisces. Oh, we're looking for Mars. We'll get there. All right, we'll get there. Mars is right here. All right. Tomorrow, currently Mars is in Aquarius. All right, so, you know, but Pluto and Capricorn, Pluto sees us having transformations in our career. In the 6th house, once again, you know, a lot of us, you know, are, you know, maybe getting a little frustrated, to be honest. You know, things aren't moving quick enough. You know, if transformations aren't manifesting fast enough, but be patient, my little ones, okay? Change is coming for sure, but when it's in the 6th house, you know, it may be a little bit delayed, especially with, you know, 6th house being ruled by Mercury, and we're currently Mercury in retrograde in Sag, which we'll get there in a second. So Sharlita brought up Mars. Mars is currently and definitely frustrated. Exactly. That's that Pluto and Capricorn in the 6th house energy. So we currently have Mars in the 7th house, which the 7th house, ironically, you know, is the one-on-one relationships house. Okay, it's our, you know, business partnerships. It's also our open enemies. Okay, so a lot of us could be getting, you know, a lot of unexpected open enemies. I know I've been getting a lot of comments on YouTube lately, and I've been wondering where it's coming from. It's probably this Mars in Aquarius in the 7th house. All right, I've been getting a lot of, you know, trolls lately, but I've been getting them together. You know, this Mars in Aquarius sees us being very spontaneous, you know, doing things kind of off the cuff. So, you know, mind your tempers, you know, because Mars is, you know, aggression. Mars is self-assertiveness. Mars is, you know, reaction. You know, it's you act first and then you think later, you know, especially when it's in Aquarius, right? Because Aquarius is Uranus, and Uranus is change, you know, changeability, you know. So, hey Zuri, hey Natasha, hey Casey, hey everybody. How's everyone doing today? I still see your comments on my phone. By the way, mind you, I am doing live readings. We're talking about the astrology today, which is technically the 13th. Okay, so for those of you watching tomorrow, it would be for today. For those of you watching today, it would be for tomorrow. Hey Eddie, how are you? So for those of you just joining, I am doing live psychic tarot readings. If you would like to donate to my super chat or my PayPal, the PayPal is in the description box. It's also in the chat box, okay? And anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is two questions, $30 is three questions, so on and so forth. Moon was in Capricorn at my birth. Ooh, Gumbo Yaya, that's interesting. So you're Moon in Capricorn too. So how are you feeling today, Gumbo Yaya, with the moon being in Capricorn today? But tomorrow on the 13th, it moves into, well, technically today on the 13th, for some of you watching, I guess, it moves into Aquarius, okay? So, you know, for those moon in Aquarius, does Siobhan have moon in Aquarius? Is she here? Who has moon in Aquarius? Now, we also have Lilith in Aquarius, you guys, in the 7th house. Okay, so Lilith is the dark side of our personality. All right, it's the shadow side of our personality. It's the not so pretty side, okay, when it's in the 7th house. You know, this energy can manifest in our personal relationships. So once again, be careful with that Aquarius energy, all right? Oh, you both have moon in Aquarius. Yes. So, you know, your energies are going to be very heightened. Your emotions are going to probably be very heightened for the next 2 days, you know, for the 13th and the 14th, KC. Now we have Neptune in Pisces, okay, on the 13th. And with Neptune being in Pisces, it's in its home. You know, Neptune is in its home sign, okay? So this is, you know, relatively normal energy, but it's in retrograde, okay? You know, notice the little R right here. It means it's in retrograde. And it looks like we also have a sextile here, all right? Let's look and see what that's about. Neptune, no sextile. Oh, no, that's actually Pisces, but I know there are some sextiles here. We do have some sextiles here. I guess we'll get into that in a second, but I'm quite intrigued about these sextiles that we have going on the 13th. But let's, you know, stay focused. So we have Neptune and Pisces in the 8th house. The 8th house is ruled by Pluto. So this is transformation and evolution. Now, Neptune rules our solitude and our soul growth. All right. So a lot of us, you know, it also rules, you know, our hidden strengths and weaknesses, you know, our illusions and confusions, boundaries. We talked about that in a live, right? So a lot of us are going through, you know, some deep transformations when it comes to setting boundaries, you know, when it comes to, you know, being real with ourselves, you know, being able to, you know, be alone. A lot of us are dealing with, you know, having to be alone at this time and loneliness. You know, this is that kind of Neptune and Pisces energy in retrograde. So we're also reevaluating certain things as well. So we also have Uranus in Aries, all right, in retrograde as well, all right. So with Uranus rules our friends, our acquaintances, all right. So a lot of us are going through, you know, some sort of transformation as well in our friend groups, you know, with our peers as well. A lot of us are feeling disconnected. A lot of us feeling like we're going on our own, you know, we're doing our own thing. And, you know, that's how it's kind of supposed to be right now. You know, we're meant to kind of deal with our own stuff with, you know, Uranus going retrograde in Aries. You know, Aries is ruled by Mars, so that's self-assertiveness energy. Oh, your moon in Pisces, Ade. So you're definitely being affected by that Neptune retrograde in the 8th house in Pisces. All right. So, but that, you know, it's all good, you know, with it going retrograde in the 8th house, you know, this is about transformation. So, you know, it may be tough, but it's necessary, especially when it comes to, you know, asserting our own boundaries. So let's just keep it going. Now we have our North Node in Cancer. That's what I was talking about earlier. We have the North Node in Cancer on the 13th. And that means the South Node's in Capricorn. So a lot of us could be dealing with past life karmic issues relating to our career, relating to our, you know, our work, our status in life. You know, a lot of us could be, you know, dealing with some past karmic issues, you know, working through some past karma, you know. So with our North Node in Cancer, once again, a lot of us are redefining what family means to us. You know, a lot of us are, you know, finding out who our true family is at this time, because we do have North Node in Cancer in the 12th house. So the 12th house, you know, is Uranus, or is Neptune, I'm sorry. And Neptune, once again, is, you know, solitude. It's soul growth, you know. So a lot of us are you know, some of us are growing past our families. Some of us are growing with our families. You know, some of our family bonds are growing deeper. But a lot of us are figuring out who our true families, or who our true family is at this time, you know, and it's not always who we think it is. Gumbo Yaya, I feel you, Lamar, about doing our own thing today. I was with friends and enjoyed our time together, but couldn't wait to get home for some alone time. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's that Neptune in Pisces in retrograde. You know, we can only be out for a certain amount of time, with it being in retrograde in Pisces. You know, we need that solitude at this time. So, you know, if you feel like being alone, don't think you're weird. It's that Neptune retrograde in Pisces. You probably need to be alone and to rest. I've been resting a lot lately. Eddie says, yeah, I just had a fight with my dad, not talking to him anymore. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Well, that could be, you know, that Saturn. Let's see where we have Saturn. That could be Saturn in the 5th house, all right? I don't think we talked about Saturn in the 5th house, all right? We have Saturn in the 5th house. The Saturn rules, the relationship to the father. So with it being in the 5th house, the 5th house is ruled by the sun, so this is our, self-image, our creativity, our ability to express ourselves, it's our, our love life, our romance, our expression. So, with it, Saturn being in the 5th house and Saturn being in Capricorn in the 5th house, Saturn being in its home sign, this can be the energy of the father being a bit stifling in some way to your creativity, to your self-expression, so that, I can understand that, Eddie, and it's just, the planetary energies. I hope that you and your father, come to some sort of resolution, down the line, but we all have our moments, so, we don't judge in this room. We love you either way. But I am sorry to hear that. All right. But that could relate to, the 7th house energy. Does that kind of go along with maybe why you and your father aren't speaking? Do you feel kind of stifled by him in some way? For those of you just joining, I am doing live psychic tarot readings, so you can donate to my PayPal or my super chat. I prefer my PayPal at this time. The link to the PayPal is in the description box or in the chat box. And anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is 2 questions, $30 is 3 questions, so on and so forth. So let's continue on. We have Mercury in Sagittarius, all right, in the 5th house as well. And with Mercury, currently being direct, but keep in mind that Mercury does go retrograde in a few days, okay? So we have Mercury currently, on the 13th in the 5th house once again. So we have Mercury in Sag. A lot of us are feeling very much, self-expressive. A lot of us don't want to feel boxed in our self-expression, in our ideas. A lot of us are coming up with new ideas at this time, especially a lot of us are trying to get in those new ideas before Mercury actually goes retrograde. Which, is this week, actually. So we'll talk about that, a little later in the week. But, with Mercury retrograde with Mercury direct currently, in the 5th house, we're in that retrograde shadow period. Hey, Rosie. A lot of us are feeling very self-expressive, very blunt at this time. So remember, watch your words, try to be, as tactful as possible. All right. A lot of us may, have to deal with certain situations that test our patience. Sagittarius is a very restless, impatient energy at times. My Mercury's in Sag. Okay. So I totally understand. Eddie, dude, yeah, some 7th house energies. This has been going on for a while. He's too stubborn to listen to me and acts narcissistic towards me. I give him too many chances. Yeah. Hi, David. People have been tripping with that Mercury and Sag. Folks just popping off at the mouth. That's what I'm talking about, Casey. A lot of us are going to be popping off at the mouth. I know I have, all right? For those trolls who've been commenting, on my YouTube channel and thinking that I was going to say anything, child, this Mercury and Sag energy has been on fire lately. So, I also need to watch my temper too in my mouth. But, a lot of us are just getting, out that, that last bit of energy that we can before Mercury, goes direct, I feel like. So, Rose says, I popped off at work today. Child. Blunt is the story of my life. I know that's right, Gumbo. Yeah. Oh, Moonlight Man. Just listened to Forbidden Fruit and really liked it. It's Salvador, by the way. Oh, hey, Salvador. I love you, Salvador. You're so awesome. And actually, Forbidden Fruit will soon be available on iTunes and all other streaming platforms. So that's going to be really exciting. So soon you'll be able to download my music and purchase my music. But let's continue on with what's going on. Let me catch up to the comments. Ade. Oops. Ade. Please not another Mercury retrograde. I got some light. I gotta light some sage for my nerves. Exactly. Especially with it being retrograde in Sag. My hubby popped off yesterday. Yes, y'all. So a lot of more people are going to be, popping off. I yelled at my brother a lot today. I was not having it. I understand people have been getting on my nerves on the road. Like I've been getting really frustrated with slow people on the road, and it seems like there's a lot of slow people on the road. But I've really been telling myself, mind your temper. Mercury's going in retrograde. That's the time of car accidents as well. So really, really mind your tempers, you guys. I sent out an email, like what are they called? A mass email for those on my mailing list about Mercury and Sag and how you should be careful traveling. Shalita popped off today. Child, everybody was popping off today. Lacey M says I have a lot of trolls as well. Do you really? Which is this Lacey, the makeup lady? If it is, I'm like a huge fan of you. I'm not sure if it is. You guys, I have to stay focused. This is why, I can't. This is why I stay on live for like 3 hours, because I just talk all the time. Oh, it's not the Lacey that does the makeup? Oh, okay. Well, hey, thank you for still joining us. I appreciate you, Lacey. David Babon says, I've been feeling weird. I keep feeling new love coming in. I sense that someone new is coming into my love life. Well, that's, positive. Stick with that energy. All right? I like how he says Sharlita. All right, you guys, let's continue on. So we talked about this. Now we have Venus Venus currently direct, Venus currently retrograde, because the little R is right there, in the 3rd house. All right, so Venus retrograde, we're reevaluating, our relationships, our friendships. A lot of emphasis on relationships not only with other people, but relationships with self, with the current astrology lately. Has anyone been noticing that? But we have Venus retrograde in the 3rd house. So the 3rd house is the house of communication, ruled by Mercury. Okay, so, a lot of us, are evaluating our thoughts about love and relationships and about our money, because remember, Venus rules money. And in this case, Venus is in its home sign, Libra. All right. So a lot of us are reevaluating, our ideas about money, how we make our money, how we spend our money, how much time, we put into relationships versus how much time we put into the relationship with ourselves, and those types of energies. Now, with it being in the 3rd house, our thoughts are heightened, communication tends to be heightened, but there tends to be miscommunication with Venus going in retrograde in the 3rd house. So luckily, Venus does go direct in Libra next week as well. So next week, by the end of this week, things should lighten up. So I can't wait to talk about that astrology. But it looks like we've gone through, today, today's astrology, which is the 13th, tomorrow for some of you watching. Now let's get into the 14th, because, not much changes with the 14th. But we do have, once again, we have the moon in Aquarius. So we're going to have the moon in Aquarius both on the 13th and the 14th. Okay. So, and I think all the other placements are literally the same. We still have Mars in Aquarius on the 14th. We still have Neptune in Pisces, okay, in retrograde. We still have Uranus and Aries in retrograde. And we still have the North Node in Cancer. We still have Venus retrograde in Libra, the Sun in Scorpio, and Jupiter in Sagittarius as well. We have Mercury in Sag still. We have Saturn in Capricorn still. We still have Pluto in Capricorn. We still have the Lilith, all right? We still have the Moon and Mars all in the same placement. So for these next 2 days, this is the energies that we can expect for the next 2 days, you guys, okay? Now, it looks like we do have, for at least the 14th. Let's look at the 13th. All right. Looks like on the 14th, we have Mars trining Venus. Looks like we have Jupiter square Mars. So a lot of us may be feeling, very stagnant, or like on the 13th, a lot of us are going to be wanting to make moves, wanting to make, big grand ideas, wanting to make, or at least big gestures toward grand ideas or something like that, with the Jupiter square Mars energy on the 13th. But be patient. Once again, I feel like impatience is going to be a big thing on the 13th. So be careful with that, you guys. Okay. Now, it looks like we also have Uranus also square the moon on the 13th. So a lot of us are feel like we're going to want to be spending alone time, because we do have Uranus and Aries in retrograde, the moon in Aquarius. So a lot of us are going to want to be doing our own thing for the most part, especially if we're tired. Like if you come home from work, you're probably not going to want to do anything, outside of chilling, relaxing at home, on the 13th with this Uranus square Mars. People just may easily get on your nerves. Now we do have Pluto sextile the sun on the 13th as well. So that's really, really good energy about transformation. Alone time could be really good for you. You may feel kind of like a new, a new bust of energy, on the 13th in some way. With the sun being in Scorpio, this is a lot of transformation energy. We have Pluto sextile the sun in Scorpio on tomorrow. Lord have mercy. I can't wait to see what manifests tomorrow. A lot of us, could be manifesting, some amazing, either amazing things or some not so amazing things on tomorrow with that sextile energy. Let's look a little bit at the 14th. Let me catch up with the comments. I need my Palo Santo to work. Yes. Venus retrograde in the 3rd and Mercury is about to be retrograde. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, you're so welcome, Lacey. I appreciate you too. Thanks for sharing your wisdom with us. I appreciate you, Lacey. Yes, I have lots of thoughts about past work and romantic relationships. I keep seeing that I've given too much power to others. Yes, that's that Venus retrograde in the 3rd house, David. Hey, honey. So on the 14th, we have the moon square the sun. So we have the moon in Aquarius and the sun in Scorpio. All right. So a lot of us are going to be feeling indifferent towards certain things on the 14th. A lot of us are going to, feel a little bit on autopilot with the sun square the moon. A lot of us are going to be wanting to make some deep changes, but we just don't know exactly what those changes are. A lot of us are going to feel, very restless, maybe a little bit irritated as well these next 2 days with the sun square the moon. Okay. Now we also have Mars trine Venus. All right. So this is really, really good energy. We have Mars in Aquarius. Okay. But we have Venus retrograde in Libra. So on the 14th, you may find that you don't have to do as much work. People kind of come to you on the 14th. A lot of unexpected changes when it comes to relationships and kind of people kind of backtracking. We have Venus in retrograde, so people from the past may come back, or people you haven't heard from in a while, may hit you up and amazing is the only thing on my mind. Yes. Now we also have Saturn. We also have Saturn. We have Jupiter square Mars, all right, as well on the 14th. So once again, we're going to want to make big changes, big grand changes. Not the best time to do so, all right? A lot of us are just going to get bursts of energy that, we want to do this, we want to do that, and some of this and that we may be able to accomplish, but, some of this and that we may not be able to accomplish at this time. So we need to be patient, all right? We have a lot of transitions going on. Not only within these next few days, but, in these next few months. So keep that in mind. But, this is a little bit about the astrology for, today. Okay. And if you want your own personal reading from me, your own personal birth chart reading from me, this is the astrology for both today and tomorrow. So the 13th and the 14th. So if you want your own personal astrology birth chart reading from me, this is kind of what it would be. Of course, it wouldn't be exactly this, but it would be this pretty much. We have the houses over here. So, we have the first house on the 14th. Let's see if they change, actually. No, they pretty much stay the same, actually. A few changes. Mostly in degrees, though, I find. So we have the first house, aka the rising sign, it looks like here in Leo. All right. We have the second house here in Capricorn. Virgo. We have the second house in Virgo, the third house in Virgo. We have the fourth house currently in Libra. All right. We have the fifth house currently in Sag. All right. As we can see, the houses kind of go this way. All right. So that's how the houses go on the natal chart wheels. So let's just look on this. We have the sixth house, it says, in Capricorn. Sixth house in Capricorn, the seventh house in Aquarius right now. All right, this is Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius. The eighth house is in Pisces, right? And you can double check via this. I'm kind of teaching you guys how to read a wheel really quickly. I hope you guys are paying attention. We have the ninth house. Look at the house numbers are here, always in the middle, the inner of the circle. The 9th house in Pisces, this is the symbol of Pisces. This is Aries, so this means the 10th house is in Aries. The 11th house is in Gemini. 12th house is in Cancer, all right? So this is the astrology for today and tomorrow, you guys. How is everyone doing today? Did you guys enjoy your Monday? I don't know how long I've been streaming, actually. It won't tell me. But I'm looking at your comments on my phone. So for those of you who want a live reading, I am doing live readings as well. So you can donate to my Super Chat or you can donate to my PayPal. I would prefer if you donated to my PayPal. The link to the PayPal is in the description box. All right. And anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question. Anything above $20 or $10 is no. Anything above 20 is 2 questions. 30 is 3 questions, so on and so forth. Had a lazy Monday. Yes, my Monday was okay. Mine was too. It wasn't that bad. Oh, thank you, Not For You, for the $5 donation to my Super Chat. Not For You wants to know, hey, Lamar, was just wondering if the change in school I'm thinking about for my son is a good idea potentially or not any better than now. Thank you. So Not For You to Know just donated $5 to my Super Chat. Thank you, Not For You to Know. For those of you who are just joining, you can also send a Super Chat donation to my PayPal or to my Super Chat. I do prefer PayPal. And the link to the PayPal is in the description box or in the chat box. So give me a second while I take a sip of water, and then we're going to get into Not For You to Know reading. Did you guys enjoy the overview of the next 2 days with the wheel? I want to get more involved. You know, like I want these live streams to be more involved. You know, I want you guys to be more involved in the process. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start doing live phone call readings. Now, you know I'm excited for that because you know I love to talk, honey. Yes, that was helpful. Got to know these energies. You're welcome, Casey. My sun is in Scorpio. How will the next 2 days affect me? Well, the sun is currently in Scorpio, so I don't remember all the other planets. You're going to have to watch the playback, honey. Lamar, you didn't spoke my ex up. He just DM me a song he wrote about me. Ciao. I'm a little worried about the sun squaring Saturn. Yeah. The overview was immensely helpful. Yes, Bree. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I think we're going to start doing that more often because I enjoy it, you know. And I want you guys to get a kind of a feel of what purchasing a birth chart for me is like, all right, as well. So let's answer Not For You to Know's question. Not For You to Know donated $5 to the PayPal. So Not For You to Know wants to know if Not For You to Know wants to know if the change that she's thinking about for her son is a good idea or not any better than now. Maybe a weekly overview. Yeah, that would be good, a weekly overview. That would be really fun. Bree. Hey, Kilitrilla. Oh my God, Lamar, I have that same pic in the background. Which one? Is it the Angels one? The Angels one is my favorite. Then I have the moon back there. And I need to find something to put there. But we're going to figure it out. My Michelangelo rep. Oh, yes. You know, that would be a really good idea to put like a Michelangelo painting or something like that. Or like a famous painting. Obviously a cheaper version. Much cheaper. Hey, Siobhan. The baby angels. Yeah, I love that photo. I absolutely love that. And I got it from the thrift store. I was so happy, you know. As soon as I saw it, I was like, this is me. Because I love the angels, you know. So is the change that Not For You to Know is thinking about for her son in schools a good idea, or will it not be different from maybe what her son is experiencing now? Will the change in schools that not for you to know is thinking about for her son be a good idea? Or will it not be that much of a change? Oh, the baby angels are Michelangelo replica pic. Oh, that's why they look so familiar. You know what's really funny is I've been really much into like documentaries about like the Palace of Versailles lately. And like the royal family of Versailles. Like I watch a documentary. I've been watching documentaries about that all day. Like I don't know. I've been heavily into that and like that like aesthetic, you know? I kind of want to do a reading on the Palace of Versailles. Is that like extra? Does anyone know what the Palace of Versailles is? All right, last shuffle for not for you to know. Is the change that not for you to know is thinking about for her son in terms of schooling a good idea? Will it be a good thing or will it not be much different? It's been great energy in here as usual, Shwan. Yes. Yeah, it was interesting. That was a shady period. Yes, you should do it. Yes, do that, Lamar. Yeah, I think I want to do a reading on the Palace of Versailles. Okay, so not for you to know. Here we have the Temperance card here in the past position. Okay, this is interesting. We have the Five of Wands. So is there something about behavioral issues or not getting along with classmates and bullying maybe here with the Five of Wands? Not for you to know. We have the Three of Swords. All right. It does seem like he's not getting the best support at this school that he needs from the staff, from the adults. Whether they don't know how to handle him, they don't know how to deal with him for some reason. Just seem like he's not getting the best support. Here we have the Ace of Wands, so this is a new opportunity, all right, whether it relates to money. Obviously, this would relate to schooling, I always relate to this to like a new opportunity in resources, whether it's a new home, a new school, a new institution, whatever the situation is. I think in this case, obviously, it would be a new school. I think, maybe a new school would actually be a good idea. Here we have the Six of Swords. I think it's really about vetting out the staff, though. Vetting out the staff, really, getting a feel of them, whether they're compassionate, whether they'll be able to kind of compassionately deal with your child, your son, all right? Especially if he's having issues at his current school. We have the Prince of Wands. There is something about the child and change, and change being a little bit hard on the child. So once again, I would really vet out the school before you kind of make that final decision, because I would hate for you to accidentally put him in a situation in which it's no better, or it's not a supportive space, all right, not a safe space for the child to be in, whether it's just he's not getting the support he needs, the attention he needs, whatever the case is. So really vet out the school, vet out the staff, all right. David says, I was a shy boy, didn't have a lot of friends, I was always chatting in my head, though. Yes, my head was flowing with so many ideas. That's how I was when I was a kid. I would love a reading on the Egyptian pyramids if they were made by aliens. Oh my gosh, Siobhan, you are speaking to my soul right now. Oh, okay, we need to do a reading on the Palace of Versailles tonight and the Egyptian pyramids. Because I've also been obsessed with Egyptian documentaries as well lately. Okay, let's continue on with Not For You to Know's tea. Not for you to know, I would think about changing the child's schooling. I don't know if you've been thinking about private schooling or something like that, but I would look into putting the child into a more supportive environment, all right, where it's a safe space, where he can get the attention he needs. Also, there's something about like after school programs. I don't know if you have after school programs. I feel like he would thrive by having more interaction with peers, having more interactions with similar peers, though. So I don't know if you can put him in like a club or something like that as well, like an after-school club. But I feel like interaction with peers in a safe environment as well, basketball, something like that would be really, really good for the child. So I say, look into doing, you know, putting the child in a new school. Not for you to know. All right. Do you feel good about that? I hate that I can't see your comments on the group chat on Google. Like, I don't understand that. But all right, it is what it is. It is hard being young. Yes, readings on like late great artists would be so cool and different. No one else really ever does stuff like that, just celebs. Yeah, I agree. I was a moody child growing up, so one day would be cool like air, and the next day would be burning like fire. My friends managed to get a hold of my emotional cycle and survive. Yeah, I was alone when I was a child. Did that resonate with you? Not for you to know? For those of you just joining, I am doing live readings. So if you want a live reading, I am available. I'm doing live psychic tarot readings. I'm doing live astrology birth chart readings. For those of you who are just joining, we looked a little bit into the astrology of today and tomorrow using the astrology wheel. All right, so we did a screen share, so you'll have to look at the playback for that. But I am doing live readings, so I would prefer PayPal. The PayPal donation link is in the chat box, the super chat box, or the description link. Anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is two questions, so on and so forth. Hey, brah. They would say that I was autistic because I wouldn't talk. A lot of people in education label Black and brown children as having learning disabilities due to all the social ills and perceptions. That's true, Ade. He has loved school until this year at a new place. I didn't want to send him there to start. Yeah. I would listen to your intuition with picking a new place, not for you to know, okay? Trust your intuition. Hey, brah. And now I'm all zenful and peaceful. I wouldn't change anything for the world. Exactly. That's how it should be, Zuri. Right? Maybe we can do birth chart readings on people now that I can also do a screen share. Won't that be fun? Then we can really get into people's tea. Like, ooh, they have their moon in the fourth house. Lord have mercy. That's why they're so crazy, Not for you to know. But because of location, I had to. However, there are huge issues with lack of compassion and support with staff. He is terrified of the staff. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's just not much. He's not getting the compassion he needs from the staff. Especially at that young age. Like, the students need to be compassionate, or the teachers need to be compassionate to the young students, okay? You just need to. I wouldn't go back to childhood if you paid me. Child. I would go back to childhood if I know what I knew now, But, life works how life works. That's so true, Ade. I was super quiet growing up, Scorpion. For some reason, labeled that as an issue. Yeah. Yes, I thought that's what you were doing. What do you mean? Oh, you thought I was doing readings? Like, I mean, I would enjoy it. I just don't know who would read. And I would also have to, like, get people's, like, the time and place that they were born. That's hard to find. But we can do readings on you guys as well. So if you want a birth chart overview reading, now we can actually pull it on the screen and really see the tea, right? So I told you guys things are going to get better as these lives went on. And it's just going to get better from here. Never has been a behavior issue and still has not been. In school, but at home, he is different totally. Exactly. Hi, Kiwi. Fight for your child because they will always do this to Black and brown little boys. I've had to deal with it with my little brother. I agree. Teachers think they know more than everyone. I agree. Gonna get to know each other better on a deeper level. Who else agrees? I agree, Zuri. He needs to be in a smaller class with teachers who care. Yes. Than he has ever been. I know where he needs to be. Yes, not for you to know. I wouldn't go back to childhood either. I think I like being an adult better. I'm so glad you decided to live, Lamar. Me too, Christine. Unless you mean you're glad I decided to go live. You just have a superiority complex because they have higher degrees and yada, yada, yada. Oh, does having planets in retrograde in your birth chart make a difference in those how the retrogrades affect you? It does. You know, when we were born, we could have had a planet in retrograde, right? That's a thing. Hi, Aisha. I'm a Capricorn, and your cat videos are very accurate. Thanks to you, I understand my behavior patterns and can explain myself to my friends and family. That is really, really good. Because you know what? That's one thing that Capricorns struggle with is understanding ourselves and therefore, you know, helping others understand us. So, you know, I think that my Capricorn videos are actually kind of revolutionary in a little, in a certain way. I'm very proud of them. I've been wondering the same thing. I have 2 retrogrades in my chart. Yes, they do affect you. Good vibes with beautiful people. Yes, Christine. Yes, I miss being a kid, to be honest. I miss elements of being a kid. I'm not gonna lie, I had the best childhood. I had the most fun childhood, dancing with making dance routines with my little cousins, you know, being a hot mess, getting into foolishness with my friends. You know, there's certain things I miss about being a kid, but child, I'm glad you decided to live. Being an adult feels better than having to abide by your parents 24/7. I agree. I think I just miss the freedom of being a kid. They are the best of my. I have Mars and Aries in retrograde. Oh Lord, that's tough. That's always feeling like, you know, with Mars in retrograde, you know, in Aries, you have a tendency to like second guess yourself sometimes, or second guess your actions, which is, you know, not typical of a Mars in Aries if it were direct, you know, if it were just a direct placement. You have 3 planets in retrograde, so you're always overthinking sometimes. But it also depends on what planets you have in retrograde, Eddie. You're the Capricorn whisperer of YouTube. I've been called that before. Retrograde planets just means that you tend to. I'm glad to hear that, Lamar. Yes. Retrograde just means you have a tendency to overthink, you know, whatever placement that it's placed in. So if you have a planet retrograde in Uranus, you may have a tendency to like overthink either yourself in groups, you know, or overthink other people's intentions, you know, things like that. Gumbo, yeah, your cat videos have helped me understand myself more deeply. Thanks. You're so welcome. Peace and love, Lamar, my fellow Capricorn. Hey, Markeisha. I miss not worrying about money or bills. Yeah. Yes, hey, Bill's currently seeking a sugar daddy. Yeah, girl, don't get me started. Because you only know what's best for you and you know what you need in any time in your life. That's very true. That's, you know, Uranus, spending time alone, being able to do your own thing. I'm confused about retrogrades in general, to be honest. Should we talk about retrogrades really quickly? Should I pull up the chart again so I can show you retrogrades? I'm going to pull up the chart here in a second. For me, Aisha, when planets are in retrograde, I can't control myself. It's like the planets are controlling me when they're direct, things feel normal. That makes sense, you know. Ade, after watching your videos, I have met 2 Capricorns back to back. I never dated a Capricorn before watching your videos. Ooh, child. Look at you manifesting Capricorns by watching my videos. You better work, Ade. Bro, Lamar, my sun is in Cap, rising Aries, and Moon in Virgo. I'm confused all the time, so inconsistent all the time. Yeah. Bro, are you a male or a woman? So let's talk about retrogrades really quickly. Okay, let me just pull up the screen again. So, retrograde. So, for example, we currently have the R always means, you know, the R right here always means retrograde. Okay, so we currently have Neptune in retrograde, which means, and I'm talking about retrogrades in terms of this natal chart wheel, right? So, the wheel of a natal chart always goes counterclockwise, all right? As you can see, it goes from the first house to the second to the third, so on and so forth, all the way to the 12th, and then it starts over again. So when we have planets going this way, or no, the wheel on a natal chart wheel always goes clockwise. All right. So when we have a planet going counterclockwise, that, you know, is not going against the natural pattern, the natural current of the houses, aka the solar system, what so have you, that means the planet's going in retrograde. So with Neptune going in retrograde, that means that Neptune is not going the natural way of, you know, what planets typically go, which is this way. With Neptune in retrograde, that means Neptune is going this way. All right, slowly but surely, because Neptune moves very slowly on a daily basis. All right, now we also have Uranus going in retrograde. So that means, you know, Uranus is going this way, which is not the typical, you know, form of where the planets go. So pretty soon, you know, if Uranus keeps going retrograde, it could be retrograde in Pisces. All right, because, you know, it's Pisces is the ninth house. Pisces is, you know, this, you know, energy right here. So is this making a little bit of sense to anyone out there? So yes, you can have retrogrades in your natal chart. All right. And this is a little bit confusing. You know, the houses are over here. Here's your Pluto. All right. This is your North Node. All right. This is your Lilith. Your vertex is right here. Your planets. And then you have all your aspects over here. So these are a little bit confusing, but, you know, the great thing is that they're very visual. So Rose says, makes sense to me. Okay, it makes sense to you. David, good. Okay, so I made some sort of sense. Good. I love studying my chart. Me too, Rose, right? Like, I love studying my chart. Before I even got online, I was like, ooh, so I have what in the fourth house? I have what in the fifth house, child? It's really, really interesting. It's really, really interesting. Your vertex is in the 8th house. Ooh, so the 8th house is about transformations. Ooh, so you may be having a lot of transformative experiences that relate to past lifetimes, though. Now it makes sense. Okay, good, Markeisha. Eddie says, yeah, I learned a lot of myself reading my chart and still am. Yes, Eddie. Aspects are the true tea in astrology, especially in synastry. Yes, those sextiles, those conjunctions, those squares, those oppositions, honey, they all matter in a birth chart. All right. Why is my necklace all the way over here? It's an amethyst. I love how the planets change signs and move backwards. It's amazing to me. I know, right? I have a lot of trines and sextiles with the 7th house, 10th house, and 5th house. What does Lilith do? So Lilith is the shadow side of our personality. It's our dark side of our personality. It's also the dark side of other people's personalities. So let's look at what Lilith is in currently. So we currently have Lilith. Where is she? There she is. In Aquarius. So Lilith in Aquarius, well, we have to remember that Lilith is, you know, tends to come out when we don't get our way, when we don't have control over our emotions. So Lilith in Aquarius is very unpredictable. Lilith in Aquarius is very highly intelligent, very like a master plan type of energy. All right. So you may see a lot of master plans play out, or you may see a lot of master plans fall out. Okay, that's the, you know, the kind of the double-edged sword with Lilith, especially with it being in Aquarius in the 7th house. So you may see a lot of fallouts in relationships at this time with Lilith in Aquarius, and it may be to petty stuff, you know, because Lilith can be a bit petty, you know. You may see a lot of affairs. Lilith can be like affairs as well. You may also see a lot of people, you know, especially people you wouldn't expect to come together, because remember, Aquarius is like unconventionality, unconventional energy. I can never say that word. I don't even know if unconventionality is a word, but, you know, it's a very unconventional Aquarius, right? So, you know, you may see people come together who you wouldn't expect to, you know, or you just may see a lot of unexpected occurrences in relationships at this time with Lilith currently in Aquarius in the 7th house, all right? My Lilith is in Leo. I don't see it for me, but okay. Yeah, well, Lilith in Leo can be, you know, a little bit attention seeking, all right? But you have a natural energy of attracting attention as well. So that can attract jealousy as well. So with Lilith being in Leo, you may attract, and with Lilith currently being Aquarius in the 7th house, you may attract a lot of attention from unconventional places. You may attract a lot of unexpected attention. So yeah. Does that make sense? I love Lilith energy. I learned how to use her in my personal chart. Yes, I have Lilith in Capricorn, so I'm still learning how to work with that energy. Lilith transiting my rising. Ooh. Well, you have Lilith in Scorpio, Siobhan. Yes. Lilith loves being in Scorpio and Capricorn for good and bad reasons. Lamar, hey Lamar, who's your friend beside you? You mean Jesus? This is Jesus. I also have Ganesha beside me as well, who's a little bit more shy than Jesus. But Waldo, wait, Cap or die. Hey Waldo. My Lilith is in Taurus. That sounds ominous. Ooh. Lilith in Taurus can be a bit controlling sometimes, in its worst form. Also can be very possessive. But, in its best form, Lilith can be very generous. Because Lilith often knows that, to get nice things, or Lilith in Taurus typically has to, learn to work from the ground up to get nice things. And in that same frame, Lilith and Taurus can be jealous of people who don't have to work as hard to get what they want. Because remember, Lilith is always a good and bad kind of energy. Did you know Jesus is a Pisces sun, Aquarius moon, and Capricorn rising? I did not know that. People always say Jesus is born on December 25th, so there's always people out there who think Jesus is actually a Capricorn sun. But I believe he's actually a Pisces sun. That makes more sense. What about Chiron? So Chiron is, it's an asteroid, and it's our ability to overcome our wounds. It's our ability to overcome our transgressions in life. All right. I'm not sure if Chiron. I have to see where Chiron is shown on this chart. I don't think it shows Chiron on here, unless it just speaks of the aspects. That's the one thing, is it doesn't show Chiron, or I haven't figured out a way for it to show Chiron. I've only had this app, this astrology app on my Mac for like 2 days, so I'm still learning how to work it. But, that's what Chiron basically is. It's overcoming your wounds, it's overcoming your transgressions in life, learning to overcome, learning to, be persistent. It's, that kind of energy. And in that same frame, you are able to teach others how to overcome and be persistent. And, so Chiron is both a teacher and a healer, or a healer of themselves and a healer of other people, I guess, to clarify. I haven't studied Lilith energy. Yes, all true. All are true for me, Lamar. Thanks. You're welcome, Gumbo Yaya. I knew me and Jesus had things in common. Exactly. Y'all are both Moon and Aquarius. The wounded healer, Chiron. Exactly, David. What's the app called? I think it's called Astrology XP. It's called Astrology XP. I honestly have so much Earth in my chart that I kind of feel like maybe I should have reincarnated as a rock. That, that makes sense. But, probably in a past life you were very Earth connected to the Earth, maybe, or, you had a lot of Earth in your chart. All right, well, that's your opinion, Alpha. As long as you keep your opinion to yourself, I will respect your opinion. I think my Lilith is in the 8th house. Can't remember though. So the 8th house is transformation. Hey, Nathaniel. And evolution, right? Well, it is pseudoscience. Yeah. You know, people can have their own opinions. You know, it is what it is. So I looked at my birth chart. My Lilith is in Leo. Ooh. So you're naturally an attention attractor. You attract attention to you for the good and bad. All right. I have a South Node in Taurus. I was a materialistic in my past life. Yes, which means in this life, you're meant to learn to be more spiritual, more esoteric, delve more into the esoteric side of yourself. By the way, I am doing live psychic tarot readings and live astrology birth chart overview readings. So if you would be interested in a reading, you can donate to my PayPal, which I prefer at this time, or you can donate to my super chat. All right. Anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is two questions, so on and so forth. My Lilith is in Aries. My Jupiter is in retrograde. Oh, is it? Lamar, sometimes as a Capricorn lady, I fall short in the love romance department. Well, do you know where your Venus is in, or your fifth house, or your 7th house? Your Chiron is in Libra. I don't think I never remember where my Chiron is. I think it might be in Taurus. I'm not sure, to be honest. I would have to take a look. Why don't we just take a look? Actually, no, because then y'all would know all my tea. What does the Chiron mean? Chiron is the wounded healer. It's the teacher. Repeat the question again, Lamar. Oh, do you know where your Venus is in, or your 5th house, or your 7th house, Markeisha? Yours, Taurus, Chiron. So Taurus, Chiron, you know, you heal through building something for yourself, but also building something of stability, and also building something where you have a career that you enjoy, but you also are able to enjoy the fruits of that career. You know, like that's a Lilith in Taurus, or you know, Chiron in Taurus. I mean, doing what you love, literally doing what you love, and loving life. You know. You know, learning to love life after, maybe, because remember, Chiron is being wounded after being wounded, you know, and teaching other people to love life and how to love their life by doing what you love and finding out what you love. So that's, I think, Chiron and Taurus. Alpha, you made a fair statement without negative response, so I respect that. Thank you, Alpha. I respect you as well. My Sagittarius Chiron. Oh, wow, that's so cool. What does Lilith mean? Lilith is the dark side of our personality. It's our shadow side, okay? It's also our sexuality, how we use our sexual prowess to get what we want, all right? So if you have Lilith in Scorpio, you can be very, you know, sexual to get what you want. Not in an overt way, but you can use your sexuality to get what you want. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. If you have Lilith in Chiron, you know, you can be the same way, but more so towards, you know, for your career, you know. Larry says I'm a Cancer. Honestly, writing arts and volunteering, Lamar. Oh, okay. Chiron and Scorpio, I'm eternally sad. Well, you know, Scorpio is about becoming, you know, going from the Scorpion to the Phoenix to the, you know, Eagle stage. What is it again? The Scorpion, I don't know. I forgot what it is. I'm not a Scorpio, I'm a Capricorn. So I'm only a Venus in Scorpio and a Pluto in Scorpio. My Chiron in Taurus is retrograde in the 5th. Ooh, Lord. So you may always be reevaluating, you know, and needing to reaffirm whether or not you truly love what you do. You know, whether or not you truly are enjoying, you know, your free time. Like, you know, you may always be second guessing in that way. Like, am I having fun? Should I be doing something else? Am I missing out on something right now? Like, that can be, you know, Taurus in Chiron retrograde. Did you know Dylan Roof and Robert Bauer did nothing wrong? I don't know who these people are. Dylan Roof? I mean, okay. Did you know I don't care, Larry? But thanks for your opinion. Like having a death to be reborn. Yes, David, exactly. I do get attention whether I want it or not, but I just embrace it for the better or worse, and we walk it like I talk it. Hey, walk it like I talk it. Hey, walk it like I talk it. Yes, Zuri, that's exactly how you should be. By the way, I am doing live readings, so for those of you who are still here, you can donate to my PayPal, or you can. Oh, why didn't it post? You can donate to my PayPal, or you can donate to my Super Chat. I would prefer if you donated to my Super Chat. Or no, I would prefer if you donated to my PayPal. I'm sorry. Anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question. Anywhere between 20 and above is 3 questions. Or 20 and above is 2 questions. 30 and above is 3 questions. So to donate to my PayPal, you can send, you can get the link in the description box or in the chat box. Walk it like I talk it. Bye, Larry. Oh, your 5th house is in Sag. Mine is in Capricorn, but you know, depending on where I look, it can be in Sag too. Hey, Nick, what's up? So true, Lamar. Yeah, Siobhan. What's up, Lamar? Hey, Nick, can you talk about compatibility? What compatibility? You gotta learn how to enjoy enjoyment. Exactly, Siobhan. And not second guess it. I like the statue of the Lord, bright and shiny. Yes. I love the Lord. That's why I don't understand why, you know, people come in here and it's like, oh, this is demonic, this and that. You know, I'm just like, girl. What does Chiron mean again? My Chiron is in Gemini. Is your Lilith between house cusps, Lamar? I'm gonna pull up my chart for you guys. I have to type it in really quickly. Hold on. Be patient with me. 1991. 18. Now I have that song, Walk It Like I Talk It. 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 Okay, so we're about to look at my birth chart. Oh, Larry's back. Did Larry just change his name? I'm dating a cap like me. I feel him manipulate me. And I know exactly what he's doing. Go away, Larry. You're bored. I agree, right? Child, light some sage for these trolls, please. Okay, yeah, let's light some sage for the trolls. The trolls are bored. Yeah, Larry's bored. Larry, I send you back where you came from in the name of Jesus Christ. Bye-bye, Larry. So we're going to look at my chart, you guys. All right. And Eddie says, I don't take trolls seriously. I get a laugh from them. I agree. I think it's funny if someone takes the time out of their day to troll me when you could have so many better things to be doing, like being productive. But let's get into my birth chart, you guys. We rebuke you trolls. Exactly. Rebuke them in the name of Jesus. Okay. So this is my chart, you guys. Okay, without getting too much into the tea. All right. As you can see, I have a lot of Capricorn energy. I have Lilith in Capricorn, Neptune in Capricorn, Uranus in Capricorn, North Node in Capricorn, and the Sun in Capricorn, all in the 5th house. It looks like I have my Uranus in Capricorn. Oh no, not my Uranus, my North Node in Capricorn in retrograde. So with my North Node in Capricorn, that means my South Node is in Cancer. So I'm always second guessing my career, you know, and especially the career between, especially, you know, can we just block Larry? Like, yo, you need to get out. Hide user on this channel. All right, bye, Larry. Yeah. So with my North Node in Capricorn in retrograde in the 5th house, like I'm always second guessing my career. I'm always second guessing, you know, am I doing enough? You know, wow, your 5th house is full. I know, right? You know, this is like crazy 5th house Capricorn energy. Now I also have my Saturn in Aquarius in the 6th house. All right, so you know, this also speaks of why I'm so career focused and work focused. Your North Node's in Capricorn too. Yes, Nick. That's why we get along so well. We have such similar placements. I have Mars in Sag and Mercury in Sag, both in the 4th house. All right, so with my family, remember the 4th house rules the family. Oh, thank you to someone who donated $10 to my super chat. I really, really appreciate that. Damn, is that why I changed major in college 4 times? Yeah, probably. I changed mine twice, I think. Maybe like once or twice. 5th house stellium. Yes. 5th house stellium. My 5th house is locked and loaded, y'all. Larry, I send my spirit guides to you. And if you keep coming back, I ask them to curse you. So let's continue on. So with my family, with my Mars and Mercury, I'm very straightforward and very blunt, which gets me into a lot of trouble sometimes. But you get, you know, you have to earn respect, right? Your 9th house is packed like that. Ooh, the 9th house is Jupiter, so that's actually could be a good thing. Yeah, all my planets are on the horizon. You keep things inside. I do keep a lot inside. I keep a lot inside. That's like the not so great thing. So I also have my Venus in Scorpio and my Pluto in Scorpio, both in the 3rd house. So I like that deep communication. This is why, you know, I always, like, whenever I come on live, I always have something deep to talk about, something meaningful to talk about, you know, because I like that deep, meaningful communication. I like that transformative communication. I like the type of communication where either one or both of us leaves, you know, learning something new, you know, either about life or about ourselves. My 6th house and 7th houses are pretty packed. Yes. So I also have my moon in Libra in the 2nd house. So the 2nd house is, you know, this house of money and self-worth, which is totally understandable because, you know, if I'm like, you know, money is like heavy on my mind most of the time. So I'm always thinking, do I have enough money? You know, am I making enough money? You know, because Venus does rule money, right? And how we spend our money and make our money. Am I spending enough free time? You know, am I spending enough time with other people? Like I'm always trying to balance things out with my moon in the 2nd house. You have 4 planets in the 2nd house. Ooh, what kind of planets? The 2nd house rules our money and our personal finances. So now we also have Jupiter. I also have my Jupiter and Virgo in the 1st house. So with my self-image, I'm very, very particular, very reserved as well. You know, I'm not someone that opens up very easily, which is surprising. Or maybe not so surprising. But when I'm comfortable with you, obviously I'm very chatty and talkative. So I have my first and second house both in Virgo. All right. I have my third house in Libra of communication. I have my fourth house in Scorpio. All right. And I have my vertex in Capricorn as well. And I have my fourth house in Scorpio. I have my fifth house in Capricorn. All right. I have my sixth house in Aquarius. I have my seventh house in my eighth house in Pisces, my ninth house in Aries, my 10th house in Taurus, my 11th house in Cancer, ironically, and my 12th house in Leo. And then I have these squares, honey, these trines. Luckily, I have no oppositions. Thank God. Because oppositions can be tough. All right? But that's my chart. I know. What is Larry like? Larry, what do you want, buddy? Do you want me to light a candle? Let me go get a candle for your ass. Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me get a candle for Larry. Let me write. It looks like we're going to do an impromptu magic session, guys, because Larry doesn't know how to get the fuck out of my live chat. So since Larry wants to keep fucking with me, we're going to fuck with Larry. Oh, I need a pen. So every troll that comes in this room, I'm writing your name on this piece of paper. Larry's going to be our first victim. Exactly. Larry's crazy, but we're gonna do a candle for his ass. I want you to keep coming with that same energy, Larry. We're gonna do some cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is really good at banishing negative energy. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Exactly, Larry. I don't think you know what you're getting into, Larry, but you know, good luck. Black salt. And some hyssop for some fast acting energy. I light this candle in honor of my ancestors. I ask that all trolls in this live chat be banished, all trolls that continue to pester me, all trolls that continue to try to mess with my life. Thank you for taking care of them, God. Thank you for banishing all my enemies in the name of Jesus. Thank you for surrounding me, my live stream, all those in this live stream with your watery wall of protection, your fiery wall of protection, and your warrior shield of protection. In the name of Jesus, Lord, I ask that you show my trolls and my haters no mercy. In the name of Jesus, ancestors, spirit guides, angels, I ask that you show my trolls no mercy in the name of Jesus, especially if they continue to pester me after I've asked them to leave. Lord, you know my heart and you know the troll's heart. In the name of Jesus, I pray and I thank you. And so it shall be done. Good luck, Larry. I hope you sleep well tonight, buddy. Don't know what's going to happen to you for the next few days, but wishing you the best. You shouldn't have fucked with me. You guys think this is a joke. See, some people think this spiritual thing is a joke, but it's not a joke. You never know who you're messing with. Let that be a lesson. You never know who you're messing with. You don't know who's protected. You don't know what kind of energy I work with. So good luck, Larry. And I hope that my spirit guides show you no mercy, Larry, by the way. So on that note, you guys, child, I don't think the trolls know who they're messing with. Like, I really don't think the trolls know who they're messing with. Moy says, don't fuck with spiritual people. If you know what I know, be scared. I just witnessed another side to Lamar. Yeah, like, this is a warning to all trolls out there. It's in your best interest to not mess with me. Do you think that me coming up here is like a facade? It's a play? Like, what do you think? What are you thinking? Do you think I'm like up here joking or like playing for fun? Do you think I'm not spiritual? Do you think I don't know what I'm doing when I cast a spell on a motherfucker? You should leave me the fuck alone, and I've said this more than once. So for all trolls who continue to fuck with me, good luck. Good luck. This is not the channel to mess with. It's not. Spiritual work is no joke. It's not. We're protected. Exactly. Why is it so difficult to be and let be? Exactly. Hey, who don't listen must feel. Exactly. So I'm sure Larry's quiet as hell right now because Larry knows I'm not playing with his ass. All right. Especially since I did the candle in front of your fucking face. All right. So, yeah. So on that note, okay, I'm going to play some music to lighten up the mood. And then we're going to come back. Sorry for the energy getting a little heavy. But I actually feel like I had to do that for some of these motherfuckers. Like, don't fuck with me, yo. Don't play with me. So, Larry logged off. Exactly. Oh, Rose hit my PayPal. You did hit my PayPal. Okay, I'm sorry. Child, I'm so sorry, Rose, but you know I had to get these haters together. Like, these haters are crazy. I really don't think they know who they're messing with. So I'm gonna look, Rose, at your PayPal payment really quickly. And by the way, Larry, God, I have divine order to do that to you. I hope you know. Like, I'm in the right. I hope you know that. So whatever happens to you, you deserve it. At this point, it's no longer in my hands, buddy. So I just wish you the best. Hey, Lamar, I don't have a particular question. Can you tell me anything extraordinary in my chart I should look deeper into? Yes. So we're going to... Okay, here's what we're going to do, because I need to take a break, a little break, all right? So I hope you don't mind me taking a little break, Rose. Before we get into the rest of the readings tonight, because remember, I still want to read on the Palace of Versailles, and I also want to read on the Egyptian pyramids, okay? So we're going to do Never did I run from a baboon. Okay, Larry, well, you stay here. I mean, I don't really care. First, we're going to do Rosé's reading, and then we're going to do the Palace of Versailles reading, and then we're going to do the Egyptian pyramids reading. So I'll be right back. And you guys talk amongst yourselves. And we'll talk.
This is for all my haters out there. Cause I give something to y'all too. Working all day, saving all day. What you need, what you trying to say? I've been working all day, I've been saving all day. What you need, what you trying to say? What do you mean? What do you say? All you do is hate all day. What do you mean? What do you say? All you do is hate all day. What do you mean? What do you say? All you do is hate all day. What do you mean? What do you say? All you do is, that's all you do. This is for all my haters out there. Gotta give something to y'all too. What you need, what you trying to say? I'm working all day, I've been saving all day. What you need, what you trying to say? I've been working all day, I've been saving all day. What you need, what you trying to say? What do you mean? What do you say? All you do is hate all day. What do you mean? What do you say? All you do is I need to know. Hate all that. Just tell me. I said, what do you mean? What do you say? All you do is hate all day. What do you mean? What do you say? All you do is all you You say you're gonna go, you need to call. You say you're gonna call, you need to call. Yo, let me say something to you real quick. Don't treat me like shit, yo. I'd rather die for my niggas. So what you wanna do? You say you're gonna call, you need to call. You say you're gonna call, you need to call. Yeah. You say you're gonna go. You need to call. You say you're gonna call. You need to call. Yeah. Let me say something to you real quick. You sure you wanna do this? I think I'm sure. Okay. Look like a fool now, you got your ass out. Look like a fool now, got your ass out. Look like a fool now, got your ass out. Said you look like a fool now, got your ass out. Look like a fool now, got your ass out. You look like a fool now, got your ass out. Look like a fool now, come out the closet now. You look like a fool now, got your ass out. You sure you wanna do this? I think I'm sure. Okay. Look like a fool now, you got your ass out. Look like a fool now, got your ass out. Look like a fool now, got your ass out. Said you look like a fool now, got your ass out. Look like a fool now, got your ass out. You look like a fool now, got your ass out. Look like a fool now, come out the closet now. You look like a fool now, got your ass out. You sure you wanna do this? I think I'm sure. Okay. You look like a fool now, got your ass out. Look like a fool now, got your ass out. Look like a fool now, got your ass out. Now you look like a fool now, got your ass out. Look like a fool now, got your ass out. Now you look like a fool now, got your ass out. Look like a fool now, come up the clock now. Look like a fool now, got your ass out. Open up to me, boy. Open up to me, boy. I can make your dreams come true. Just sit my hand and follow me. Open up to me, boy. Open up to me, boy. I can make your dreams come true. Just sit my hand and follow me. If you get sexy, stylish. If you wanna see what's in between, yeah. Wanna have some fun, I wanna have some fun. I've been waiting on that dressing getting daddy so tight. I wanna have some fun, I wanna have some fun. I've been waiting on that dressing getting daddy so tight. If you wanna see what's in between, yeah. Wanna have some fun, I wanna have some fun. fun. I've been waiting on that cursing bitch inside me so tight. I wanna have some fun. I wanna have some fun. I've been waiting on that cursing bitch inside me so tight. Wanna have some fun. I wanna have some fun. I've been waiting on that cursing bitch inside me so tight. I wanna have some fun. I wanna have some fun. I've been waiting on that cursing bitch inside me so tight. Wanna have some fun. I wanna have some fun. I've been waiting on that cursing bitch inside me so tight. I wanna have some fun. I wanna have some fun. I've been waiting on that cursing bitch inside me so tight. It's time to party. It's time to party. It's time to party. It's time to party. Let's all get naughty. Let's all get naughty. Let's all get naughty. Naughty. Yeah. That's crazy. He was hot. He kind of was. It's time to party. It's time to party. It's time to party. It's time to party. Let's all get naughty. Let's all get naughty. Let's all get naughty. Naughty. Yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm back. What did I miss? Let me look at the comments. The music is giving me life right now. Who's not dancing? Yes. Is this Lamar's own music? I missed that. Yes, that is my own music. And soon my new single will be available on, I need to fix the screen, child. Soon my music the new song I just uploaded, which is called Forbidden Fruit, will be available on iTunes. So I can't wait to tell you guys about that. But let's get into, the reading for Rosé, and then we will get into the reading about the Palace of Versailles and the Egyptian pyramids. I'm excited about that. Let me put the link in the chat box again. Is Beat Down Low on iTunes? Beat Down Low is not on iTunes. You really want to listen to Beat Down Low, don't you, Rosé? I'm going to play Beat Down Low for you in a second. I'm going to do your reading, and then I'll play Beat Down Low for you, okay? So let's look into Rosé's birth chart, all right? What's in the glass? That is a good question, Maury. What is in this glass? So this is a flower that I bought from Target. But this is actually a spellbound flower. And specifically for my haters and my trolls. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what spell I've cast on this flower. But if you are not a hater or a troll, you should not be worried. All right. But if you're a hater and a troll and you find yourself getting tired or your energy being zapped in this live stream, you should probably leave, okay? So with that being said, let's get into Rosé's reading. I need more friends over here. Anyone near Washington, D.C.? Oh, I'm actually near Washington, D.C. Sorry. Ooh, I'm intrigued. Uh-oh, he brought in the big guns on Larry's ass. Yes, I did. And I saw someone said I was meditating. I was actually meditating. I was meditating and praying when I was gone. So, yeah. You know? Let's get into Rosé's reading. So we're going to put in Rosé's information. I'm going to do a screen share really quickly. And we're going to put in Rosé's reading, or Rosé's information here. So let's look up Rosé's information. Bear with me as I pull it up on my phone. So it looks like Rosé was born on 9/7/1988 at 11:54 p.m. in Dallas, Texas. Done. So let me just make sure all the information is correct. 9/7/1988, 11:54 p.m. in Dallas, Texas. Okay, so it looks like all the information is correct. So this is Rosé's birth chart, y'all. Yes, Rosé, thank you for allowing us to read your birth chart. All right. So, yes, Gamboyaya. Yeah, that would be awesome if we could meet up, Zuri. I told him he should do a meetup group for us. I really want to. I'm going to. You know, we're gonna just rise and rise and rise with this, with these lives. So let's get into Rosé's birth chart, y'all. Okay, so Rosé has her sun in Virgo. Okay. Ooh, so your sun in Virgo, Rosé. And it looks like you also have your Lilith in Virgo, both in the 4th house. So your sun is in Virgo in the 4th house, which means you're a very family-oriented person, but you're very private when it comes to family. Your family affairs, you know, you're very private, and you may also ironically be private with your family members as well. You know, especially ones that you're not too close with, you know, with your sun and your Lilith in Virgo in the 4th house. Now, with your Lilith in Virgo, that tells me that you're someone who can be very, you're very intelligent, but you can sometimes use that same intelligence against other people. So for those who aren't as intelligent as you are, especially when it comes to your family members, especially because since we have Lilith in Virgo, all right, both direct, by the way, you know, you can sometimes use your intelligence to other people's weaknesses, if that makes sense. So you're definitely someone who I don't know, did you go to school or something like that? I feel like there's something about you where you can sometimes, with Lilith and Virgo, or for example, Lilith and Sag, like they can sometimes put their degrees and, you know, their accomplishments and achievements, you know, they can sometimes throw it in people's faces, right? Because we have to keep in mind now that Lilith is the dark side of our personality, right? You know, it's our kind of also our sexual temptress side, you know, the side that we, you know, we kind of, you know, use our sexuality to our benefit to get what we want, right? Now, I will say with Lilith and Virgo, you're not typically the type to use your sexuality to your benefit. You're much more likely to use your brains, all right, rather than your brawn. You have, which is, you know, a lot to be said, you know, in this day and age, to be honest. Now, you have your moon in Leo, okay, so you love attention, especially since you have it in the 3rd house. So you love attention. I pray, Maury says, I pray to get on the level Lamar is on with charts. Yes, Maury. You're going to learn through watching my lives. You know, I'm going to teach you guys as I go along, so don't worry. You're going to learn. Yes, if I'm provoked, yes, I'll definitely play my games. Exactly, Rose. That's that, you know, Lilith and Virgo energy, honey. And I also have Moon in Leo, direct in the 3rd house. The 3rd house is ruled by communication. So with your Moon in Leo, you're very blunt, straightforward with your emotions. You are someone who speaks up. You are someone who doesn't hold back for the most part, very fiery with your emotions. Because remember, the moon rules our emotions. It's ruled by Cancer. So this is our emotional reactions, our emotional instincts. Sapiosexual, yes. Yes, sapiosexual. What exactly is a sapiosexual? I'm so inspired by Lamar's work. Thank you, David. Now, with your moon in Leo, you can also be someone who can react based on assumptions. That's one thing I find with the fire signs and the moon placements is that sometimes you guys can react on assumptions. You guys can assume things, but not necessarily delve into the truth, especially Leo and Aries, but Sagittarius too. You know, let's keep it real. All right. You also have Venus in Leo, in the 3rd house as well. So you love attention and love. You love to be seen. You love, I find that Leos love to have like arm candy. You love to have like a good-looking man on your arm, especially a man with stature, with some sort of prominence, who can get along with, you know, your crew, your people. Because here we have Venus and Leo in the 3rd house, right? So this is communication. You're turned on by someone's intelligence. Oh, right. Okay. Yes. Okay. So yeah, I would definitely say that Rose is a sapiosexual. Definitely turned on by someone's intelligence. But you're also, attracted to someone's power with your Venus and Leo. You're attracted to someone's power, their creativity, you know, that kind of energy as well. Intelligence is power. Exactly. I feel like I can learn a lot from him. His readings for me have felt like guides for me to improve my intuition. Yes. Thank you, David. Leo want to be spoiled. Exactly. Leos love to be spoiled, especially since we have Rose's moon and Venus in Leo. She loves to be spoiled, and she loves to talk, honey, because we have all this energy in the 3rd house, right, which is the house of communication. I love powerful men with money. Exactly. Speaking of powerful men with money, let's get into your 7th house. Looks like your 7th house is in Sagittarius, okay, because, you know, this is the symbol of Sagittarius. Where is the same symbol on the wheel? Sag, all right? And you always look at the P, and, you know, the P, it says SGR, that's Sagittarius. So you have your 7th house in Sag. The 7th house is one-on-one relationships. It's, your business partnerships. It's the type of, marriage partner that you'll attract to you. So you're going to attract someone possibly who's foreign, because Sagittarius is, Jupiter energy ruled by Jupiter. So this is long distance. This is travel. This is worldly. This is culture, honey. This is, being generous as well and being open-minded. All right. And this is also good luck with love. So you have good luck with love, especially when it comes to marriage. Now, with 7th house and Sag energy, this can denote that you may be someone who is not the quickest to commit. All right, it may take you a while to commit because you like your freedom. Marriage, to a lot signifies a restriction of freedom. Ironically, which the 7th house is ruled by Venus. All right, not by Saturn, and Saturn rules restrictions, but nonetheless. You have your 7th house in Sagittarius, so you like your freedom in relationships. You like to travel. You like, expensive things. You have expensive taste, Rose, right? Leos do not like to be spoiled. We just want to be treated the way we expect. Yeah, woo, honey. Smart, powerful, rich man. Yes, yes, that is what I'm talking about. Analytical intelligence is beautiful. Just be careful how you utilize it. Very true. Rose got to marry a preacher with seventh house Sag, mega church. That is so true because you know what Sagittarius does, or Jupiter does rule. You know our values, our morals, our philosophical nature. So you know it also can rule institutions like religion. So that is definitely true, Siobhan. Yes, I'm careful about who I commit to. Exactly, that's the seventh house in Sag energy. So you also have your fifth house, honey. Where's your fifth house? Your fifth house is in Virgo. Okay, so you also need a lover who's structured, who has some sort of routine to themselves. You know, you don't like, for example, the polar opposite energy of Virgo is Pisces. Pisces can lack structure. Pisces, no shade to the Pisces out there, honeys. I have seventh house in Pisces, so I'm reading myself. You do have expensive taste. Right. Randy Quad says he was kidnapped by aliens. You know what, Randy? I'm sure a lot of us were, so you're not alone. All right. Moving on. Okay. Now you have fifth house in Virgo. So this tells me that, you like routine. You like a little bit of routine in love. Although you have seventh house in energy, you like some sort of routine. You like to know that, your partner's going to be where they say they are. You like trust. You value trust. You value freedom, but you also value some sort of structure in relationships as well. You can be you can struggle with being open-minded in terms of your creativity. With Virgos, I find that Virgos can be and I'm rising sign in Virgo, I find that Virgos can be very kind of restrictive sometimes because they're so stringent on sticking to a routine or something like that. But also the thing with fifth house is that you also are attracted to someone who's very health conscious or, into fitness or something like that, into healthy eating or a particular lifestyle of eating, something like that. And also people who are like into self-improvement. Trust is everything. Exactly. Yep, that Virgo sun. Exactly. Exactly. So, speaking of past lives, you have your North Node in Pisces in the 10th house. So, the 10th house is our career, actually. It rules our career, it rules our professional destiny, it rules our status in life. So Pisces in the 10th house, Pisces, North Node specifically in the 10th house. Now that says that you in a past life were a Virgo, or had Virgo energy, which means that you had maybe too much structure, too much rigidity, maybe your life was too planned out. But in this lifetime with your North Node in Pisces in the 10th house, you are meant to have some sort of freedom. You're meant to kind of be alone to your own devices and not, follow someone else's rules or someone else's moral codes or what so have you. In this lifetime, you're meant to follow your own rules, especially when it comes to your career, because you have North Node in the 10th house, and that's our career. All right. You also have a direct, I don't see any retrogrades, although you do have Neptune retrograde in Capricorn in your 8th house, and this is transformation. So with Neptune and Capricorn, you may always be second guessing your career, your status, in life, and also you may be always second guessing, like, exactly where you stand. Like, sometimes I find that Neptune and Capricorns can definitely be loners, first of all, but there are also people who like can have this weird thing where they can be pessimistic, so their view of something can be worse than it actually is. That's that pessimism energy. What sign are we in? What do you mean, Eddie? I think we're in Scorpio right now. Yeah, this is a personal reading for Rose. So do you feel good about that, Rose? This is a little quick birth chart overview. You have a good kind of spread, of charts. Your chart doesn't kind of veer to one section. It's kind of spread out really evenly, which I find very interesting. That tells me that you have a good mix of all the elements, So this is a beautiful chart. I love it, and I don't see any oppositions. Oh, let me not tell a lie. I see two. It looks like we have your Lilith in opposition to your sun. All right, so you must have Lilith in Virgo. Your sun is in Virgo, which is interesting. No, it's not in opposition. It's in conjunction. I'm sorry, that's conjunction. But it looks like you do have your North Node in opposition to your sun, which is interesting. That makes sense because you have North Node in Pisces. So, you may struggle a lot with, are you giving yourself enough free time? Are you being too restrictive with yourself? Is your life too planned out? You can struggle with that kind of energy. Talk about her 11th house. Okay, so your 11th house, you have your Mars in Aquarius. Well, first of all, your 11th house is in Pisces. So 11th house is Neptune. So you like your alone time, all right? You like your freedom to do and be as you please. You like your freedom of expression because remember, Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter. All right. Yes, it's a struggle to be fluid. Exactly. That's all that kind of Virgo and Pisces energy. Now, with your 11th house in Pisces, you're also someone who, is all about soul growth and, improvement, on a soul level. And you may also struggle a bit with boundaries. All right. That is also something that can, be prominent. Now, you have Mars in Aries in the zodiac sign. Or you have Mars and Aries in the 11th house, all right? So, which is interesting to me, actually. But yeah, it looks like you have your Mars and Aries. Your Mars is in Aries in the 11th house. So, you may second guess your actions sometimes. Sometimes I find with Mars and Aries, there's like an energy of where like they can think the odds are in their favor due to that kind of Neptunian illusion energy. But, once you take action, you find that, maybe the odds weren't in your favor or you acted sooner than you should have, or, you acted, you waited too long to act. So sometimes I find with Mars and Aries energy in the 11th house, it's all about not waiting, acting as soon as you get an instinct, okay? The thing with that is that sometimes, you can second guess yourself, all right? So try not to second guess yourself when it comes to acting. Aries and Leo energy, tough cookie. I know. I get pleasure just listening to Lamar. Thank you, Doyal. Being more spiritual and less religious has helped me a lot. Yes. And that's that freedom you're giving yourself now in this lifetime, because no shade to spiritual or to religion. All right. I grew up religious, but religious is very structured. Religious, is very structured, not in terms of the religions itself, but also in terms of how it allows you to live your life. Being spiritual, is a bit more free. You kind of make your own rules. You kind of go off your own philosophy. So Mars in Aries is reactive, definitely reactive, but with Mars and Aries in the 11th house, that reaction can be like a little bit delayed. All right, especially if it were retrograde, but it doesn't look like it's retrograde at all. So, do you feel good about that reading, Rose? I love reading you guys' charts. All right, that's like my favorite thing to do. All right, so Rose said she wanted to listen to Beats Down Low. So I'm gonna play Beats Down Low for you guys, and then we will reconvene, and then we're gonna do readings on the Palace of Versailles and the Egyptian pyramids, honey. All right. Yes, I love it. Yes, Rose. So for those of you who are still here, I am doing live readings. So you can send a PayPal donation, which I prefer at this time, or you can send a super chat. All right. Anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question. Anything above $20 is two questions, so on and so forth. So let's set up this music for Rose. All right. And I'll be back, you guys. All right. We're going to do some readings on pop culture. All right. If we could call it that, or history, I guess it would be. All right. So I'll be back. Let's set out our trap for the trolls. All right. And we'll reconvene. This song, I dedicate this song to Rose.
What the f- I've got you on my radar, boy. I've got you on my radar. And my legs too. You're on my social media, boy. You're on my social media. I've got you on my radar, boy. I've got you on my radar. You're on my social media, boy. You're on my social media. I like the beats down low and my legs too. I like the beats down low and my legs too back. Ooh. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I'm gonna stalk you all night, but I promise that I won't bite. I've got a special appetite. Just hold still. Ooh, I see it in your eyes, on your special prize, on your crocodile. I see it in your eyes, do up, do. Ooh, just treat me like I'm your prize. I promise I won't bite your crocodile. Just treat me like I'm your prize. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. Ooh. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I've got you on my radar, boy. I like the beats down low. I've got you on my radar, and my legs tilt back. You're on my social media, boy. You're on my social media. I've got you on my radar, boy. I've got you on my radar. You're on my social media, boy. You're on my social media. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. Ooh. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I'm gonna stalk you all night, but I promise that I won't bite. I've got a special appetite. Just hold still. Ooh, I see it in your eyes, on your special prize, on your crocodile. I see it in your eyes, do up, do. Ooh, just treat me like I'm your prize. I promise I won't bite your crocodile. Just treat me like I'm your prize. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. Ooh. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. Ooh. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. Ooh. I like the beats down low, and my legs tilt back. I like the beats down low.
The light around them.
Dang. Hold on, guys. Okay, I'm going to move you back a little bit, Jesus. Okay. So now, oh wait, where's my phone? I can't see your comments. Oh, I need these. These cards might spill some tea, honey. Let me go get my phone so I can see your comments. Okay, you guys, so now we're going to do a reading on the Palace of Versailles because I've been obsessed with the Palace of Versailles for like a couple days now. And then we're going to do a reading on the Egyptian pyramids. So for those of you that don't know, the Palace of Versailles was once owned by the royal family of Versailles. All right, and for those of you that don't know, the royal family of Versailles was a royal family that once reigned over I think, the country of France, or somewhere in France. All right, and they're known for their very lush, very expensive, one of the most expensive palaces in the world, still to this day. So if you don't know what the Palace of Versailles is, look it up. All right, it's very, very interesting and intriguing. A lot of like mysteries and hauntings, things like that attached to it as well. So it's definitely like an attraction that I want to see. Oh, you're welcome, Rosie. So let's see. What are the energies? What can we know about the Palace of Versailles? What can we know about the Palace of Versailles? What can the spirit guides, the angels, the ancestors, the protectors tell us about the Palace of Versailles? Let's say a quick prayer. Thank you for surrounding all of us in this live stream with your watery wall of protection, your fiery wall of protection, and your warrior shield of protection. In the name of Jesus, I pray and I thank you. We come in peace, prosperity, and abundance. Amen. So, what can we know about the Palace of Versailles? What can the spirit guides, the angels, the ancestors tell us about the Palace of Versailles? What was it really like in the palace? What was behind the true construction of the palace? What was it like living in those times? Yes, Ashe. What can we know about the Palace of Versailles? What can we know about the Palace of Versailles? Obviously, I feel like we know this, but I feel like the women were the ones who stayed in the castle the most. Like, I feel like almost the women hardly ever left the castles. I feel like the women were either ordered to only leave the castle unless possible, or unless it was only for specific purposes. I feel like the women had to spend a majority of the time in the castle, tending to castle duties. I don't think the women hardly ever left the castles. What can we know about the Palace of Versailles? We get the Six of Swords. All right, interesting. The Queen of Cups. Right. So I feel like there's something about a woman that still haunts the palace. I feel like there's a woman that may be seen often, as a ghost or something in the palace. A woman that once lived there. The Hierophant here in the future position. I feel like there's been a spell put over the palace, to be honest. Something about a spell being put over the palace. By one of the kings. Something about always looking over the palace, always, kind of keeping watch over the palace. Here we have the Queen of Swords. I feel like there was a lot of cheatation that actually went on back in the day, and I feel like there's something about people being caught. Like, I feel like people were caught in the process of cheating, or like people were often caught in the act of some lewd things in the Palace of Versailles. There's also something about one of the kings, no shade, please don't judge me or don't say anything for this, but I feel like there's something about one of the kings struggling with his sexuality, actually. I feel like one of the kings struggled with his sexuality. And I feel like he kind of struggled with it as a boy, as a child, a young child. And can I be a little bit honest, more honest? I feel like there's something about like molestation, or like an older male kind of like grooming him in some way. I believe it. Yeah, I get the energy that like there was a king or some type of male in prominence that struggled with his sexuality. And I feel like he kind of liked younger males, to be honest, without getting too much into detail. All right. But there's something about the kings being very money hungry. One of the kings was also very money hungry. And I feel like one of the kings, I don't remember which one it was, but one of the kings put a lot into the palace, like a lot of his money into the palace, into improving the palace to what it is exactly what we see today. I don't know if it was Louis or if it was his predecessor, but one of the kings like really put their heart and soul into the palace and constructing it as to what it is today, as what we see. But there's something about the palace being created out of love. All right. And not necessarily out of legacy. I feel like it was created out of a gesture of love. And not just like love of the country, but love of self, love of like a woman of some sort. Like I feel like the palace was actually created for a woman, or like as a gesture to the woman. Like I created this palace for you. Like I get that kind of energy, but I get the tower. Interestingly enough, I get the tower. I remember watching the documentary and they said something about the palace being evacuated for a little while, and I feel like it was evacuated for a long time. I actually feel like some things may have been stolen. I also see something about spiritual activity with the palace. I don't know if they had like accidental fires, or I feel like they may have had some accidental fires in the palace due to spiritual activity, though. I feel like it was due to spiritual activity. So I don't know if they casted spells in the palace or something like that. It was where the Queen and King of France lived most of the time in the 18th and 19th century. Oh. All right, because I feel like there's a strong feminine energy that still lingers around the palace to this day, the Palace of Versailles. All right. And there's also a strong masculine energy, but okay, so it feels like this feminine energy like passed away, and it's the spirit of just revisiting, or I don't know if this woman passed away in the palace. I feel like this woman might have passed away in the palace, and that's why she's like kind of almost stuck in limbo energetically there. But there's something about this man where he did some sort of spell either in his waking life, or someone did a spell to contact him on the other side. Something about him watching over the palace, his energy tied into the palace, something like that. Like there's a spell attached to this man. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did a woman take over the palace at one point? A Palace of Versailles? Marie Antoinette lived there. It may be her spirit. Oh my gosh. I've heard that when a person dies, their spirit lingers for a while. Hey, Colette. Sun King, who built it for his ego and his lover. Okay, exactly, Ade. Okay, because that's what I'm getting the energy of. Like, I feel like this palace was actually created for like an egoic kind of purpose. The palace needs a spiritual cleansing. The palace does need a spiritual cleansing. The palace needs a spiritual cleansing. The palace of Versailles does need a spiritual cleansing. Now I get the energy of, I think it might be Marie Antoinette, because I feel like there's an energy of a woman who once actually like reigned in the palace. She was beheaded, wasn't she? Okay, I think she may have been beheaded. Because I feel like there was a woman who reigned who was like a money maker, who brought in money in some way, or was like a controller of money. But there's an energy of whoever the last person to reign was that took control over that palace. There was something dark attached to them. I feel like it was a woman. So was Marie Antoinette the one who was the last one to reign in the Palace of Versailles? Was she the last one to take kind of control of the palace before it kind of became what it was today? Does anyone know? Because if it's a woman after Marie Antoinette, then it's that woman that has something dark attached to her. But I'm also getting it doesn't necessarily have to be a woman in power. It can be a woman in power that was next to the king or something like that. The last queen of France was a Medici. Ooh, okay. Maybe a Medici, because I get that it's like, I don't think it's Marie Antoinette, because I feel like this woman is like a little bit more melanated, all right? Like she has kind of olive tone skin, almost brown tannish skin. Taylor's oldest time, beheading queens with money and power. Yes. The Medici did a lot of spiritual work. Okay, so I think it's the Medici family. There's something about their energy. Their energy, I feel like, is the strongest in that palace. And I feel like it's, the Medici are Italian. Oh. That makes sense, because I feel like there's something about this woman where it's like she's not necessarily, how do I say this? She's not necessarily native to the land in some way. Wow, spiritual history lesson tonight. I love it. Yes, and Spaniards. Yep, sounds Italian. The Medici are Italian and Spaniards. Oh, okay, yeah. There's something about this woman, this last family, where they weren't native to the lands. And their energy, I feel like, lingers around the palace the most. All right? And they're very particular. Like, I feel like whoever visits the palace, child, y'all need to go with some protective energies. Because these people are very, like, I feel like some of their spirits are trapped in, like, paintings in the palace or, like, certain objects in the palace. So be careful when you go to the Palace of Versailles, all right? Know what you're getting into. Not that it's bad, but, like, you know, I feel like they're very spiritual. She was married because of her money. Spirit doesn't want to leave. Exactly, David. This was a lot of tea on the Palace of Versailles. That's very, very interesting. I also feel like there's something about like past generations of magic intertwining with one another. So I feel like the Palace of Versailles does need a cleansing. I also feel like, can I be honest, I feel like people go there to do some sort of magic ritual sometimes. Maybe that's what I'm picking up as well. Because I know that it's open to the public. Yeah, maybe the spirit feels like it's her home and people are intruders. I agree. So let's cleanse the cards, and then we're going to look at the ancient Egyptian pyramids. Versailles is a magical place. It is. So let's cleanse the cards, my lovelies, and I feel like everyone needs a cleansing. I agree, Nathaniel. I know I need one, especially after tonight. So let's cleanse the cards and look into the Egyptian pyramids. I want to know, or Siobhan wants to know, I want to know too, who really built the Egyptian pyramids? Thank you for cleansing. Ancient Kush. Yay. Yes, Rosie. Thank you for cleansing and clearing the energies of this deck from many past readings. In the name of Jesus, I pray and thank you. Amen, amen, and amen. All right, you guys, are you ready to look into the ancient Egyptian pyramids? All right, let's see. What can spirit guides? Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus, we're already dealing with the mess. Uh-oh. Uh-ohs. Okay, sacred geometry. So, what can spirit guides, the angels, the ancestors, the protectors tell us about the ancient Egyptian pyramids? Who really built the ancient Egyptian pyramids? And what was their intentions with building the ancient Egyptian pyramids? Who really built the ancient Egyptian pyramids, and what were their intentions? Building the ancient Egyptian pyramids. Oh no, some of them are upside down. That's when you know. When the cards go upside down like this, that's when you know. But we're going to read anyways, because I need to know. All right. I don't like reversals, though, or upside down cards. Okay. What about Atlanta? I want to know if they used some form of astrology or if they had alien contact. Reshuffle, please. Yeah, I'm going to reshuffle. What's going on in Atlanta? Okay, so who really built the ancient Egyptian pyramids? Was it the Egyptians? Or do they have alien help from extraterrestrials? Or did they use astrology? How did the aliens construct the pyramids? What were their intentions? Or how did the Egyptians construct the pyramids? What were their intentions? Who was it that constructed the pyramids? Why are my cards so messed up right now? I'm not feeling this. Oh my gosh, y'all, my cards are acting so wonky right now. All right, let's try again. All right, Jesus Christ. I think your cards need a little break. Yeah. I could go get another deck, but I've already kind of started with this deck, so I'm just like, let's just continue on. We got it. So, who built the pyramids? What can the spirit guides, the angels, the ancestors tell us about the pyramids? Hey, you guys are right. I'm gonna change the deck because this is like getting on my nerves. Okay, so what can the angels tell us about the pyramids, the Egyptian pyramids? Who built the pyramids? Was it the Egyptians? Did they have alien or extraterrestrial help? Did they use astrology? Did they use sacred geometry? How did they build the pyramids? What were their intentions with building the pyramids? All right, last shuffle. Now let's do one more shuffle. One more. One more for clarity and good insight. All right, let's pull cards. Let's see. We have the Hanged Man in the past position. Interesting. The Strength card in the present position. So I feel like it was the Egyptians that built the pyramids, but there's something about them where they kind of had superhuman strength at the time. So I feel like there was some sort of magic, spiritual energy involved with them building the pyramids. I get the Six of Wands. Okay. So I feel like there was a king or a queen, or, you know, maybe a king and a queen who kind of oversaw the structure, the actual building. I get the Nine of Wands in the conclusion. I feel like, ironically, it was meant for protection. I feel like the pyramids were meant for protection. They're meant to be a symbol of protection. I feel like the pyramids were meant to scare off intruders. They're meant to scare off invaders. But there's also something about it where actually, at the same time, it wards them off, but it kind of curses them if you stay around too long. So there's something about the pyramids where they're enchanted. To protect the dead, exactly our day. Here we have the Ace of Wands. So there is something about if you kind of stay around the pyramids for too long, or you spend a lot of energy around the pyramids, you're going to know some sort of spiritual, you're going to notice some sort of spiritual activity in your life. You're going to notice some sort of spiritual activity manifest in your life. Even if you go to the pyramids just once, I feel like that is kind of like a life-changing, transformative spiritual experience. Like I feel like almost maybe everyone who's gone to the pyramids has noticed some sort of spiritual energy shift or change in their life. Some for the good, some for the better. It really depends on your intentions that you go into, you know, that space with. Two of Cups. So the pyramids is very spiritually connected. But it's spiritually connected specifically to that land and to that race of people. So don't go to that land or that race of people with disrespect, because the pyramids will get your ass, all right? Here we have the Four of Pentacles. There's also something about the pyramids where it brings prosperity, it brings good luck, all right? You know, there's a reason why Egypt has, especially that surrounding area, has been able to sustain itself for so long. There's a reason why the pyramids are still here. You know, they have a lot. It has a lot of spiritual energy attached to it, and there's something about it where it does bring luck, you guys. It does bring prosperity. All right, there's something about it bringing prosperity and luck. The building was used as a morgue. Oh, you like those cards? Thank you, Lamar. You're amazing. Thank you. Being there at night is weird. Oh, you've been there at night all day. Yeah, I just feel like the spiritual energy is strong at the pyramids. It's somewhere I definitely want to go for sure, but it's the pyramids is a destination that a lot of people want to go, but it's a destination that you need to go in the right mindset, the right spiritual energy. You know, you don't want to go in there like with negative energy, with a negative mindset, because it's something may attach to you. All right, here we have the Three of Pentacles. So I don't get, to be honest, that the aliens built the pyramids. I have to be honest. You know, I'm all for conspiracy theory tea, but I just don't see the tea here. All right, I see the tea as being that the Egyptians built the pyramids. Did they have spiritual help, spiritual insight? Yes, they did. And now, is there extraterrestrial activity attached to the pyramids? Yes, there is. But I feel like this came after the fact. All right. I would love to go to connect exactly. It's very powerful. Yes, Ade. I think the extraterrestrial activity attached to the pyramids came after the fact. Can I tell you guys something? I think the extraterrestrials are actually attracted to the spiritual activity around the pyramids. I feel like that's what the extraterrestrials are attracted to. All right. And there's something about them going to the pyramids and actually cleaning up the negative energies. So there's something about the extraterrestrials where they actually kind of see the pyramids as valuable. I get that energy. There is also something about the pyramids being connected to some sort of other world, another portal. All right. So I can understand why Ade would say, that, it's kind of scary at night. I feel like there is a connection to another world, another portal. Like I said, I do feel like, the Egyptians were very, very powerful in terms of their spiritual, practices, their kind of magical practices. And I feel like that same energy is still attached to the pyramids. All right. And once again, just kind of like the Palace of Versailles, there's something about people going to the Egyptian pyramids to do their own kind of magical rituals. Be careful with that too, you guys, actually. All right. Be careful, especially if you don't know if you have Egyptian blood. Now, if you have Egyptian blood, or what I'm saying, you have kind of some sort of connection to Egypt, I feel like your magic may work for you if you go there. But if you go there with your own kind of egoic intentions, your magic could work against you. Right? So that's a little insight into the ancient Egyptians, okay? While the Egyptians attracted ET life forces with their spirituality, exactly, they did. They did, and I don't even think they knew that's what they were doing. Can I tell you, I think the Egyptians were just so much into their own spirituality that power, that energy attracted the extraterrestrial energy to them. So I think there's something about not only the Egyptian pyramids being a form of protection against physical harm, but also spiritual harm as well. Thank you. It was a great reading. Yes, I enjoyed it too. Magic is pretty powerful. Can be a double-edged sword. It can be, David. The ancient Egyptians did a lot of rituals with their dead in preparation for them going to the afterlife. They did, and I feel like they did it a lot with the pyramids, okay? There is something about the pyramids connected to geometry, to math. I feel like there's something about the pyramids where it's like we can't even crack the code. Like there's something about the pyramids where we haven't even cracked certain codes yet. That's the lesson. When you focus on you, you elevate. Exactly. Whether the Aztecs use magic. I do feel like the Aztecs use magic. And I think the Aztecs came like before the Egyptians, right? The men who broke into the pyramid of King Tut basically all died horrible deaths. Exactly. They believed in astrology, yes. The Egyptian pyramids are not something you want to mess with, okay? The Egyptian evil eye is real, the eye of Horus, okay? There's some energies attached to that pyramid that you just don't want to mess with, So I feel like if the pyramids were to ever, God forbid, was something to happen to them, we would notice the spiritual effects. There would be a spiritual repercussion that we would notice. So not only is the Egyptian pyramids protective for Egypt, it's kind of protective for humanity in some way, or the world. Especially in this world that we live in, the World Wide Web, the global world that we live in. I definitely feel connected to Hathor though. Yes. Yes, I think Egypt was first. Oh, it was, okay. They only found a piece of the Rosetta Stone. Imagine what we would know if we all had all of it. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, the ancient Egypts were very much highly into magic. Like, highly into magic. Their downfall, and I don't know if I should say this, I don't know if this is nice. I love Egypt, I come in peace. Their downfall was delving into dark magic, I think. Whoever was reigning, I think that was their downfall. Not saying that dark magic is bad by any means. You do what you want, you do what you believe, but I think their downfall was dark magic. I think just as much as that pyramid and the, what is the, it's not called the pyramid, but what is the thing called with the man's face and like the animal's body? Because that's the most protective thing. But there's something about it where it's like just as easy as it can protect you, it can also turn against you. So I feel like in a weird way, there's like spirits or a spirit that's like in the pyramids or in that kind of the Sphinx. The Sphinx, exactly. I feel like there's some sort of like spirit or something in the Sphinx. Cleopatra did dark magic. Yeah. Maybe someone got greedy. Maybe. You believe it? Yeah, I feel like there's something about the Sphinx where, like, I don't know. The Sphinx is kind of scary, to be honest. I've been told to stay away from dark magic in several readings. Yeah, dark magic is not necessarily something I do, but, I always believe what you think attracts circumstances around you. Exactly. Exactly. There's something about even being in the presence of the Sphinx where it, like, it shifts your energy in some way, or it like messes with it doesn't mess with your frequencies, but it like, who's been to Egypt before? If you've been to Egypt before, tell me if I'm wrong. It's almost like when you are in the presence of a Sphinx, it's like you're in the presence of a god or a being or like something that's not just a sculpture. Oh, you've been to Egypt before. Do you resonate with that, Ade? Because I just get the energy of like, I've never been to Egypt, but I get the energy of like when you're in the presence of the Sphinx, it's like you're literally in the presence of a god, or you're like in the presence of like something that's like more than just a sculpture. Like it's just like you can feel the energy of the Sphinx. The Sphinx is scary. It is. Also, by the end of the Egyptian Empire, it was ruled by Greeks. Oh. Definitely gives the impression like it's their watchdog. I think it's their watchdog too. Maybe that's what I get. Like I feel like the Sphinx is like a watchdog. I was told I have enough darkness inside and I need to not go where angels fear to tie. Yes. Yes, always stay in the light. Always surround yourself in the white light. All right. They were protectors of the pyramids. They were powerful. Yes, the Sphinxes were and still are powerful, by the way. By the way, when their nose, I don't know when that nose got taken off, but they were pissed about that nose. What were the consequences of that nose being like broken off? Because I feel like there was some sort of consequence that happened to whoever broke it off, and possibly their people or their land. Like that Sphinx showed that person no mercy. When you face one, you bow. Yes. I definitely feel Sphinx energy, but it doesn't scare me. I don't think it's scary, but it's just like an energy where it's like you definitely have to be respectful. Most died who did it. Yeah, but I feel like they died like pretty bad deaths. So that's why it's important to be careful with magic. And that's why it's important to be careful with people who do magic. So that's the lesson I'm going to leave you all with today, okay? Especially you patrols out there, all right? I love you guys nonetheless. Thank you for being on this live. I appreciate you guys. How many gods are there? Well, I believe that there's one supreme god, but then there are many other, like, maybe demigods or, deities, whatever you want to call them. But show respect to the old heads. Exactly. Famine and disease. Yes. Okay, so that's what happened to them. Facts, Amar. Yes, KJ. So I'm sorry for those of you who had to witness my not so pretty side, but y'all saw all that Capricorn energy I had in my chart and that Mars and Mercury in Sag, so y'all know I'm a firecracker. But we live and we learn. Okay, I thank you guys for supporting me, and I thank you guys for being here in this live, and I appreciate you guys. Until the next live, okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this live as much as I enjoyed, doing this live for you. Make sure to get your own personal reading from me on my website, lamartownsendtarot.com, or just type in Lamar Townsend Tarot in Google. I am available for personal readings, personal psychic tarot readings, and personal astrology birth chart readings. So, are there ways to talk to angels and guides? Are angels scary? No, angels are not scary. And Night Love, it was a blast. I now know I'm going to be dreaming about Marie Antoinette. Yes, and I'm about to go watch more documentaries because this even intrigued me more. All right. Yes, Siobhan. Nighty night, fun live tonight. Yes, Rose, I had fun too, even with the trolls. All right. Love you guys so much. Until the next live, thank you for joining me on this one. All right. We will keep in touch. Remember, you can contact me for your own personal reading on lamartownsendtarot.com. Until next time, love and light. May the angels protect you. God keep you in Jesus. All right. Always be a force of light around you. All right. And I love you guys. All right. Until next time, I will DM you some cool info. I would love that all day. DM me on Instagram at Lamar Townsend or, Facebook, wherever you can. Bye, Millie. Bye, David. Bye, Ade. Bye, Rose. Bye, Doyal. Bye, Siobhan. Bye, KJ. Yes, mugwort tea tonight for me, too. Yes, some mullein tea, all of it. Yes. Love you guys. All right. Until the next live. Peace, love, and hair grease.